Hello, good morning. Well, I'm just like perfectly centered here. Normally I'm like always kind of off to some side, but I've set it up perfectly today. Good morning, peoples of the interwebs. I still like think, from a numbers perspective, I should be doing those streams a little later. But I also kind of enjoyed being a really nice and slow start. With not a lot of people seeing my setup struggles, and then like more people coming in later. I guess time for another session of cozy, chaotic game dev co-working with Ruff. Enjoy. um, see, perfectly centered. Okay, maybe that's also a good time to like fix our camera setup. Cause like I've moved the camera now. This isn't like really correct anymore. And I think there was like a way of kinda setting. There was a way of like moving the part of the camera that is shown. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. But I forgot what it is, because it's been a while. Actually, I've been working on things already. I've been reworking the way you unlock chrono abilities, and we're now setting up some funky tutorials things with funky transitions. Yeah, no, I think it's fine with the camera. I think it's fine. I mean, I'll be moving anyways. It's not the focus. Right now I have an issue with fog. The fog being too, like, just spawning. Like, I can show you. Or not, actually. Wait, yeah, here, that's the issue. There is not ideal. Also not ideal in the sense that the player isn't visible. Because I thought we actually fixed that. But maybe I was mistaken. I think it's about the player and this thing. Being on the correct branch. Okay. Now let's test it from the beginning to see if it's set up correctly on the branch we're currently at, or there might be some issues. I feel like we've lost something in the merge. I think. This is fine. Fog isn't there. This is fine. This is also fine. Hey, what's the difference? He's just above fog. And camera's also above fog. Okay. But it do be about this, right? Oh, I mean, shouldn't make a lot of difference. Okay. Mm. So what I'm doing now is we have fees shared. Actually, with the new layout, more or less, there's still a few things missing. Like we do need some kind of transition here. Oh no. To get down, and then I guess actually some kind of transition to get up and down, that would be ideal. And then set up an encounter here and have all the chunk pieces here. And then I move the transition over here. And also move this transition here. Yeah, I think that's the plan. problem is that this thing doesn't get disabled on start, and I'm pretty sure it does. It should somewhere. But we'll see. Yeah, so it happens here in the fog transition. So in my debug player, I'll just put an enable event. Which disables it. Then we might need to move some logic. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. If someone asked for on the PGDA Discord if there's funding in Austria for games, that's actually a really good question. There isn't really a lot. Mostly Vienna Business Agency. And I'm just kind of searching for the funding to link it to them. But I do creative industry, that's the one. Oh, but I think someone's faster than me. Alright, now what we also need to do is move some of the update fog logic into separate like easing functions, or somewhere where I can just I guess we kind of want to move all of this into one call where we can just show and hide it. Like actually move this on the respective fork instance. I have like a global fork handler, as you do. Where are we moving this? Let's move it here. So okay. But still doesn't explain why the player doesn't get rendered in front in this scene. Do we have some crazy lighting right now? Alright, so we play the animation. Oh, that's where the fog should come in. That's where the tutorial should play. Okay. I also don't really see any difference here. Oh, okay. This doesn't get set up correctly with the non-debug player. Okay, but I guess let's just do the logic for the fog and then see if it works in the normal setup, and we'll figure it out later. So what we want here is to fs show fog and hide fog, really. Do need a field for the renderer. Let's add this as a required component as well. Okay, we will ignore the local fog. Yeah, I feel like we want to deprecate this whole component and move some of the logic here into the show hide function and some of the logic here. And move some of it here and in the transition, so we don't need a dedicated fog transition component anymore. I think we still need those settings. basically what we are doing is, yeah, blending like two properties on the fog. Alright, there is probably a super easy way of doing this with, I forgot the name again. The thing we're using to do easing functions and smooth steps, and why do I always forget about it? Do-tween. I don't know, do-tween is like a name that just doesn't stick in my brain. I mean, I guess we could do just do-tween dot two. Oh, can we? I feel like we could do something more sophisticated here. Because we could have a private void progress, and not void, private float progress, which is and we could do a getter with progress. And then in the setter, not the setter actually gets but also this would be for progress. We still need the IDs. this is just renderer. And then from 0 to 1. Or, no, wait. End value is 1. Duration, we can 0.35 is like a UI magic value. I'm not sure where I picked this up. I think from my internship. Having everything in UI initially at 0.35 seconds works most of the time. This is like a good amount of seconds for transitions. And I want to have this. So I should have perform transition, load target, value, target, value, 1, and 0. And I guess awake we should hide fog. What does this actually return? Tween. Can I do something with that? Uh, not where, var. Yeah, okay. Can do that, so that's good to know. Because in that case, I guess we'll just return. This. Or, I mean, technically we don't really need... Well, maybe we need to... Alright. I think this might work. Okay, now to connect this to transitions. But this thing is living on the bridge. This current transition is doing the tweening. Yeah, we just map transition scene. I mean, I guess we could also attach it here. Directly to the transition scene. So the thinking here is either it lives on those bridges, which exists multiple times in the scene and get like enabled, disabled, or it lives in the map transition scene, which never gets unloaded. And I think this makes more sense because the fog is also a global thing and it kind of exists as long as the player exists. So I guess we can reuse the fog transition. Let's do a new. Or actually, I think we can just reuse a lot of those things here. Oh, I think our issue with the scene is that this never gets called. Basically just this. Okay. Let's start from the top. Might still need this. Unenable. That's, yeah, okay. Transition starter terminated. That's fine. Player change. That we are. Oops. Oops. We are removing. That is fine. Then on transition started. Don't really need any of this. Oh, we do need. Here it's a to-do show global font. Oh, that's also something we need to consider. Okay. Okay, so meaning we still need we need a global fog. Oh wait, actually we can still get this. From here, but this gets the handler. Alright, show and hide fog. So far so good. Then I guess we will need not sure what camgov means. G-O-V. But we can also still get the camera from here. All right. Actually, no. So, okay. All right, and here we can now get the camera. And from the camera, we can get depth of field. like this. Okay. And we also need to do the shadow strength. No, somewhere in there a reference got lost in Git. And the light reference we are getting from the camera. Okay, so mainlight just goes from 0 to 1. And depth of field goes from apparently from initial blur to 5. Can I X? Oh, okay, nice. Okay, initial blur gets set somewhere. Yeah. Okay, and so this slurps from the initial to 5. So I guess this would be the hidden. So we can set shadow strength can equal 1 minus progress. Because if we show fog, we go up to 1. If we hide fog, yeah. And then Yeah, I think this goes. Initial blur. In blur minus initial blur. It's initial blur plus the difference times progress. Right? That's how math works. The initial blur of like 2, max blur of 5. Well, it's probably other ways. We have initial blur of 10 and then max blur of, like, let's say 15. Initial blur, max blur of, or like target blur of 5. So we have a difference of 10. So if we have 0 progress, it's just the initial maximum progress. Yeah, then we still need to flip it, because we want the initial blur to be when it's showing. Yeah, I think that checks out. Does this make sense? I think this makes sense. Alright, in my mind this seems a lot cleaner now. Like that. Well, if it works, that is. Alright, then global fog handler. Are adding this to the player. So here. how we should. Point 3 and point 6. Oh, yeah. Point 3 and point 6. Oh no. Right, let's see if this still works. I highly doubt it. Phew. Okay. So far so good, I guess. Well, that's good, I guess. Mm, Next try. Macros. Is it not get component? Oh. It is volume.profile dot try get depth of field. Hello, Allegra. Good morning. How you doing? Okay, let's see if this transition works. No. No, we got one error. Okay, no, let's still see what happens. Got an error at 47. Oh yeah, don't need this here anymore. At school with 2 hours of sleep. I wouldn't recommend that. But it happens to the best of us. I remember when I had like school stuff. I'm not sure how I managed with that. But sometimes I like didn't finish in the evening, but then like set my alarm clock 2 hours earlier, so I got up at like 5 and then finished stuff in the morning before going to school. Like still in bed. I just slept next to my school homework and then I woke up at 5 and then I just turned around and finished it before actually getting up. Seems crazy in hindsight. Like I couldn't do that anymore today. Ay, ay, ay. That does sound stressful. But it's not long anymore until winter break. Christmas break. Okay, we didn't get any errors yet, so that is good, I guess. Well, there's something happening. Just kinda instant. And also it doesn't seem to go away anymore. Well, you know, just existing sometimes is enough. It's fine. Sometimes just existing is hard enough. I don't feel like people should expect more from us. I don't think that's really fair of society. Alright, so our next trick will be disabling code until the thing doesn't happen anymore. And then we hopefully know where to look for the issues. So here, expected behavior now would be that the fog doesn't appear at all. I think I still need min and max density. I think my problem is that I'm not storing the initial values. Well, at some point you have to, what to say, make priorities. Like, how many of those do you actually need to finish to still pass? And then kind of start with the most pressing, then see how far you get. Like school is mostly in practice, in making priorities. Okay, and vaguely remember that we also stored the min density, max density. But did we really just... This doesn't seem correct to me. Where did my... here, update fog, global min density, global fog blend. Alright, it does start at 0, okay, so that's fine. No, yeah, I don't know, just don't overdo it. At some point you kinda just have to realize that you're too tired for this and then take a break before your body forces you to take a break. Like, I have days where just, things aren't working out and I'm too exhausted to do things. So I just turn around and lay in bed for half a day and don't do anything productive, and that's fine. The world still turns and I can pick it up the day after that. It doesn't work with all the things. Sometimes you do have deadlines and you just have to finish it. But then on the other hand, It's just making games and it's just school. Like, we're not, nobody's gonna die if we don't finish all of our assignments in the perfect way. Mm. So yeah, if anything, the one thing you should take serious is when like your health is like uh, compromised for this, and everything else is just, you know, relative to that. I mean, not that I really had a free day in the last few weeks, so I'm one to talk, but yeah. No, it's kind of important keeping, especially with like school things and game dev things and like things that seem very important in the moment to kind of keep the bigger picture. Because hopefully we'll both be here for a few more years. We kind of want to keep our strength for that as well. It's a marathon here, and sometimes things just don't work out the way we plan them to work out. Sometimes things just fall apart, and then we just pick the things up again and start something new. It's not that dramatic. I mean, sometimes it is dramatic, but there's always kinda a way to go forward. I feel like the sitting alone in the darkness when it's cold isn't really doing me good. I'm getting all, or how do you say, not depressive, but like the winter mood is catching up with me. Okay, so we disabled those things. No, don't take life advice from me. I'm also not that much older than you, so but technically it's life advice. So you weren't wrong. Not a typo. Uh, no, don't take major life advice from me. I'm just a silly game dev. I was hitting keys on his computer, making things work, hopefully. Yeah, okay. Where that happened, the blur thing didn't really work out. Okay, let's enable this. Disable this. No, not disable this. Oh, fuck here. Disable this. And disable this. Well, and I don't really feel like a great master right now, struggling with VFX things. I don't really know a lot about all the graphics pipeline. So I'm just kinda randomly, well, not randomly, I'm doing educated guesses of parts of the code I disable until until we hit a state that I understand. Okay. So expected behavior. No, we fell down. Now would be that fog just doesn't appear at all. I mean, I guess it didn't appear. That's just a ground fog. I think. Then we just move up and then we move down. Okay. Um. Just remove a few things. Do we still need a mainnet? No. Guess I don't need those things. Thanks. Have a nice school day. Take care. Take it easy on you. And good luck with all the assignments. Okay, let's also disable these two things. And since we and we also want to do some debug logs. Then look for the transition map. You know, let's set on the camera. Then, let's go to the handler. Do like high amount. Let's do 65 is a bit too much. Let's do a 5-second transition. And try it again. And I'm so glad if this works. I don't want to. I don't want to do this anymore. It's foggy outside, it's foggy inside. Not inside, it's like foggy inside of the game, I guess. Everything's just bleak and grey. I guess that's winter in Austria for you. Did we get debug fog hide? Yeah, that worked. But it initialized with. So how will this? Will it still happen kind of immediately? Oh wait, what? No. Okay, the show happens immediately. Now the hide takes 5 seconds. Okay. That is a bit weird. Okay. So, my guess is, no, I don't really have a guess. From transition, just doing like 1 or 0, progress from 0 to 1. We are setting minute max density based on progress. And this is just set here, so 0.3 and 0.6, which might be too high values. Doesn't explain why it happens immediately when showing. Could be connected to the render features. Let's continue disabling code lines until things make more sense. Expected behavior now still appears, but your player is in. Then it disappears. Ah. Oof. Kinda want to have the same one from here. Out quad, yeah. That's a good. Quad. For reference, easing functions. Best website, easings.net. Just a nice overview of some easing functions with, like, what did we just take? Ease out quad. With also a few implementations for you to just copy and paste. Oh, yeah. Nice little reference. Okay. Then next test would be doing like 3 seconds and let's try release more numbers. This doesn't work, let's just leave it for now. Build, because I actually wanted to work on something else. I wanted to work on the tutorial things. And I'm not sure how we ended up here, to be honest. But oh well. So, okay. Oh, wait, that actually looked not so bad, right? Just kinda happens right at the beginning. I think it was a mix between having too high values and not a lot of time. Let's try 1 sec. Let's try 0.35 again. I still believe in the magic number. Okay, no, the magic number failed us. Okay, let's settle on like 1 second. And I think it's still a bit weird in the transition because it just happens at the very beginning. I think we can still go lower with the values, with the max values. Because it reaches the maximum right at the beginning. Yeah, I think that's actually, it's not the 0.35 the issue, it's how the values, our max values are set. But it's fine from going back, it's just awkward showing it. Oh yeah, here. This. This isn't really a nice way of debugging this. Oh, yeah, that seems good. I will take that. We will take that. And now for the last trick. Enable shadows and aperture. The blur thing. And try again. Expected behavior. Still the same, but even more smooth. Hello. The cheat console, it's not a plugin. I mean, I didn't do it personally. A colleague of mine did, who's really into that. Technically, there are really good plugins for that. So I generally wouldn't recommend doing it yourself because it's not really necessary unless you're really interested in doing it. It adds a lot of value having a console, cheat console. Like we also printing all of the things, especially having it in the build is kind of nice to still see all the prints and like having a bunch of cheat codes that you can just set up in code. So I can't really do without anymore, but I do think like at least if you're like using Odin or like some of the more common Unity editor plugins or like extensions, most of those come with a console. And yeah, I think unless you're really interested in editor scripting Unity, I don't think it's worth the effort making it yourself. Oh yeah. Okay, now we approach the bridge. The fog should trigger. Oh, well, I mean, it did. Oh. I think the problem why the density was so high is... Okay, no, I don't really know why the... I think it's got something to do with that we are rendering it at a different point, no? But it doesn't really make sense. Because the only thing I enabled is shadow strength and the depth of field thing. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Also, it seems like some things don't really reset. Do they? just do the shadow first. And see if this changes a lot. Wait, what? The thing is with the whole fog, I kinda just got that delivered from my tech artist, and it kinda worked in his setup. And now I kinda tried to plug it in with the rest of the systems that need to work with it. So I don't really know what's happening in the background. I mean, kinda, but like not deep enough to actually. I'm not the graphics programmer. I don't know how to make things look pretty, I just make things function correctly. Wait, did I? I feel like maybe I just also messed something up in the serialization. Because it seems like the fog just isn't getting dense anymore. I don't think this is the issue. I don't think this is the issue. The issue probably is, as most of the times, sitting right between the screen and my chair. So me. Okay, because now if it still doesn't work, I think it's was some kind of weird serialization issue. Oh, but it does work now. So this setting, the depth of field is messing with. That is very weird. I'll just leave it as a fix me. And we'll discuss later. Okay, last test. Then and then back to tutorials. The thing I originally wanted to work on 2 hours ago. And then I literally got lost in the fog. Yeah, but now it's not working anymore. What? Not getting any errors. So it's kinda both of those. But previously it worked. Anyways, I'll just put fix me's here for now and discuss later. Yeah. Alright, just to confirm that I'm not crazy, I want to see it again. Should be working now. Unless maybe there's some kind of serialization issue. That can still be that like values get cached weirdly. No, this worked. And we fell down. Oh, there's a problem when you... Okay, no, I think the problem was with the lagging. Yeah. Alright. Let's commit this. Feature map update fog transitions, add dedicated handler and no hide functions. So now back to the thing I actually wanted to do. How it all started. I was here just chilling at Fee's shed. Working on how the unlocking of the chrono abilities works. Then the fog appeared and I had to fix it. Now we're back. Basically, the idea is now that you unlock the chrono abilities directly in the world, in the pathway, so you can't miss it. The lighting here is not baked yet, but it's still in progress. So you kind of collect it, and then it should play. Yeah, it should play a dialogue. It should play an animation. You're picking it up, then you're hovering. That's where the fog should appear. And then it unlocks, I guess, more VFX. And then there should be a fog all around. Then you get a tutorial. Like, I want to spawn the fog and then some of the tutorial interactions. But like, you can't see the world, and like, we will have it like enclosed very in a small area. So I don't have to bother with moving the player up or down or anywhere, because there is enough space. Then you finish the tutorial and the fog disappears and you can continue. Sounds easy, right? Well, we'll see about that. Since I have that now, I feel like I can just do some utility functions here with show global fog. Because we have a reference to the fog renderer. Okay, actually it's a handler, so should rename that. Then do a failsafe if it's null. Otherwise, show fog. And then another function, hide global fog. Just the same, but different. Not hide flags, hide fog. Because what we can do now is some timeline magic. At least it feels like magic to me, I don't know. Working with timelines always makes me feel like, I don't know, it's a bit weird. I don't do well with things that don't happen in a strict order. With timelines it's getting always a bit weird. But I guess weird is good. So we do have our chrono core, that's the thing in the middle. The thing where you pick up the chrono ability. It has an interactable and more importantly it has a timeline. And we are mostly using the timeline either to actually animate things in the scene, to like play in-game cutscenes. That's what we are doing in timelines. And together with that also playing a bunch of signals. And those signals are connected to callbacks. We have like different types of callbacks to do certain things you might want to do in a timeline. Mostly it's calling a player animation or like setting a trigger on the player animator. So with this system, this whole thing, like these requests kind of handle the whole fetching the player, fetching the reference, calling the function. So the whole timeline kind of doesn't have to bother with most of this. And in the timeline, you also kind of just, the only thing you can really pass is the string key. So we're working with string keys here. And it's been working pretty well so far. It's also doing like state changes. So what it's doing in the beginning is setting game idle. On the end, setting game unidle, just to keep like state clear and just pause the timer and everything. So yeah. And the thing we need to add now is we have here the power up animation gets triggered here. That's where phi starts floating. And we want to add a new signal request event. Oh yeah, and dialogue also. We can just call dialogue from the timeline. So the timeline gets stopped, a dialogue plays. It's actually pretty neat already, having this ability to really do very freeform scripted events just anywhere we want, really, with lots of different things happening. I guess we'll call this show fog, and then we add a request here, another event, and we call it show fog. Now we can call the utility, not the references. No, not in the scene. I think it's called reference. System reference serializer. No, that's not what it's called. Called utility references. There we have DLE, show global fog. Called like that? Utility references. Oh, global fog, yeah. It should. Show the fog now. Okay, we interact with it. V starts hovering. Well, fog doesn't get shown. Oh, I know the issue. It's because of the hotfix we did earlier. We just disabled the fog. We can just remove this thing. That's how it started, because initially the fog, when playing directly in the scene, the fog would just appear from the beginning. So I had to disable it, and that's how I started fixing the fog and reworking it. And now we're going full circle back to the thing where we need to activate the fog. That's how we got here. How we got to do this whole fog detour. The V interacts with it, V starts floating, fog appears, gets the ability, and jumps down. Yeah. So far, so good. One thing that's still missing is that this thing needs to be on buff fog. Actually, let's try that. Maybe it also applies to the VFX. Alright. Yeah, well, the VFX isn't working yet, but the rest. Oh, and Fee's weapon doesn't show up. The fuck? Well, that is an issue. But nothing we can't solve. What weapon is Fee using? Just tuning fork? Then, next up, platform. Cylinder. Get like this size. Kinda like this. Now what we can do is make boundaries, like we all should do in life. Create healthy boundaries. I guess I can just pack. Guess I'll just use this thing. As the tutorial boundaries. What does this mean now? Those should also be enabled when showing the fog. meeting the boundaries there. Oh, reversion also doesn't really work. I think because of the screen space effect. Now, enemy slug statue. First of all, we apply everything just. And we also need to show okay. I forgot what I wanted to do. Oh, I wanted to set those on the above fog layer. I think it just needs to be the mod. Okay, I think I can just put the whole model. Next try. The only thing now is with the VFX not showing up, we are losing a lot of potential. Also, the lighting here is still a bit tense from the testing setup. Floating up, fog appears, if he gets the ability, and lands. Might look a bit weird with the fog like this. And like with the VFX for sure. Also with the screen space effect hiding everything. Yeah, I love random pipelines. Hello Reggie. I'm doing fine, mostly. It's foggy outside, it's foggy inside, it's foggy in my PC. Oh, like in the game. So that's Vienna. um, but I did actually make progress. No, make. I don't know how to speak English anymore. We did good progress today. Mostly um, integrating, working on this whole fog thing for the scene transitions, and now also trying to utilize it for, I guess, Zelda-like tutorials. I feel like Skyward Sword had tutorials like this. Whenever you got a new like ability, you were sent up into this fog cloud thing where this night person taught you the new ability. I think. I have a vague memory of that. And I kinda just want to steal that. Thanks, thank you. Yeah, I also do think it's starting to take shape. I mean, it's not a good example because we're in a work in progress location that doesn't have textures and the lighting is all weird. But other than that, it does look pretty good. I also, I'm still very fond. I just recently changed our like starting soon thing with the hero art. And I'm still very much in love with that. That's how it's supposed to look once the artists are done with the location. So yeah, I think you are objectively right. Our artists are doing a really good job. I'm just trying to not mess it up with the coding. Okay. Now I think we ignore the fog for now and focus on the actual logic for the tutorial. No, I'm not a solo developer. We are actually a pretty big team, I'd say. We're like 5 people in the core team working on this, and then we have like a few freelancers who are like joining us at various stages of development. So in total, it's like always about, I would say, 10 people working on the game. But like since it's our first project, also like as a new studio, and funding is hard to get by. So most of us are doing this like next to freelancing, or like some of us are still students, or like having a job next to it. So we're like doing this part-time, and hopefully it will sell well enough so we can do this full-time. But yeah, so in total it's about, I guess, around 10 people who have their hands on the project at any given time. So that is, you play a dialogue, then you kind of pick it up with this animation, then V starts floating, absorbs the energy, gets the ability, and then the tutorial starts. And yeah, and you get the tutorial. And like I disabled the focus, it's not working well, but we have the boundaries here, so you can't leave the tutorial area. Then the idea is you have to use the reversion ability, check, 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 to defeat like those statues. No legs. To defeat all of them, and then the tutorial should be finished and you can leave. I mean, you can't, because I didn't set it up. That would be the idea. That's what we're trying to do. How long have you been in the game industry? I've been, well, this is our first project really, so not that long. But we've been working on this thing, or I've been active in the industry for about 3 years now, 3-4 years. I started studying game game dev, technically. It's called multimedia tech in Salzburg in Austria. Um, multimedia technology, which is like a programming bachelor degree with a focus on game development. So I started this 5 years ago. So I've been around for about 5 years. And yeah, mostly working on our own projects, like mostly working on Panta Rhei, doing a bit of freelancing. Um, I'm pretty active in the Austrian games industry, so doing some like workshops and mentoring programs, and like overall just being involved with things, talking to people to to see what's happening. Exactly, but like with Panta Rhei, we founded our studio last year, so like we're really like dedicated to this project for about 2 years, where I'm spending not quite full time, but like 20 to 30 hours a week on Panta Rhei, depending on what other things are going on. Why Firefox is blue? That's the Firefox Developer Edition. I mean, I would generally recommend Firefox. I think it's called Developer Edition. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is, mostly just my my other tech person told me I should get this one. I mean, it is handy for like some things where you want to do like investigate some things, especially like web games. But I don't know. I think I would be fine with normal Firefox as well. But I do think the blue kind of fits better with with the whole color scheme as well. Alright, we did already set up this whole tutorial logic somewhere else in the hub location, which we don't really need anymore now. But I guess we can still scavenge the logic. Cause kind of just start. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by. We are streaming, or like I'm streaming every Tuesday, 9 to 12 Central European time. So I'll be here every week normally. So stop by if you have time. And have a nice day. So we do have the whole logic set up already here, and I think we should be able to technically just use the same component. Just remove the hub from there. Hello, Astraya. How's it going? How's life been treating you recently? Okay, that sounds very dramatic. Okay, this is in the hub. I don't want this to be in the hub. Let's just leave it there. Let's not overcomplicating. Oh, but one thing I do want to move is the fog transition to here. Oh, nice. Portfolio. Yes. Where are you uploading your portfolio? Where do people do portfolios nowadays? Is it a thing to do like your own website? I feel like having your own website is a lot of overhead. Or are there any other smart solutions for that? I guess if you're just doing game dev like me, I would just have itch.io as kinda my portfolio. I guess it would be nice to have some kinda space to collect all the different things. Kara, oh, Kara, this was like a, Kara was like a social media, like also an app, right? Like an artist vocals. That was like getting big in the whole, oh no, it's literally not. That was getting big when the whole ArtStation AI controversy was, I think. Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. I remember that I tried to get in or get an account, but at the time they had limited sign-ups, and then I didn't manage. Something wasn't working with my invite. Well, time to try again, I guess. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to have an art portfolio on a platform like Kara. Kara? Kara? Just looking, because I should have received. I think that's my problem. I should always receive like the invite mail or like the code. I think last time it just didn't arrive. This time it's looking well. Oh no, I need to do a whole. Okay, no, I'll do the whole setup later. It's out of beta now. It still says beta on my end. But yeah, no, it seems like I can just sign up and do like the whole sign up form, so I'll do that. Yay. Another social media platform I need to be on. Well, I think Kara is more for lurking and seeing what my art friends are doing and less posting myself. I'm really uh, I'm a big Blue Sky enjoyer right now since I more or less completely switched from X. Like that's my main social media now. And I guess Instagram. Okay, let's I guess disable this thing. Copy component. Then move to this shed where we are setting up a save actually. Have paste component. Okay, tutorial finished event. We need to do the fog thing and disable the platforms. Oh, that's in utility references. Yeah, no, I kind of understand. It's like not getting into the kind of social media that's Twitter or Blue Sky. It can be a lot at times. There's a lot of content there, and I feel like between Instagram and Blue Sky, it's kind of nice. Right? Instagram is more like, for me at least, how I go about sharing life stuff and very impromptu, like photos of events I'm at or things I'm just doing that I want to share with my friends. And Blue Sky is kind of more of a, at least how I'm perceiving it now, as like game dev, networking, and like getting all the game dev news, getting all the game dev drama, and like participating in some of the discussions. And it's always also a little bit of, it's always part of it, but like you can't get the factor of like it being like a not a sales platform, like, but like a self-promotion platform. Because it will help me being a freelancer and having a game studio and things. It's kind of part of being in the industry, or like part of marketing efforts as well, to just be active and be seen and like make connections. So I guess I do like Blue Sky. I'm having a lot of fun over there, but one tiny part of it is always like I'm also doing this for work, so to say, like biz dev. So there's always these two parts to balance, I guess. But yeah, in comparison to Twitter, Blue Sky seems like a very fun place with a lot less bots, a lot less racism and sexism for now, at least in my nice game dev bubble. So that's good. So we hide the fog, but not now. We also disable platforms. Content tutorial. Let's test it. it works, because I do have to leave soon. We do have production sync in 13 minutes. I mean, the kind of neat thing of having production sync right after stream is that I can just show what I've been working on during the stream. Unless it's not working, then it might get a bit complicated. Oh, okay. That didn't work. Okay, let's look at the error messages. I think I was mostly just rambling about Blue Sky being nice in comparison to Twitter. Okay, something is weird now. Occasion as 12. Times. I thought that those would. Okay, those are disabled at the beginning. Alright. Then have fun studying. It's time for me to get ready for my meeting anyways. I'll be leaving soon as well. But I want to get this to work. 5 minutes left for this. Alright. So, play the animation, get up, chrono car, get the ability, get down. Oh, but it doesn't play because of the rank, guess. But technically we don't need to check rank. Okay. Expected behavior. Or kinda just that things work. The dialogue. V plays a pickup animation. V starts floating. V absorbs the chrono power. But the tutorial doesn't get started. Oh, I think we just didn't connect it, right? Didn't connect it. We should. Tutorial HUD. Okay. Alright. Guess we should start the tutorial a bit later. Yay! That works. Woohoo! Alright, we can end on a positive note. I'll do the commit later, because I still need to fix one thing. But that's it for today. Spent a lot of time in fog. Updated the fog transitions. Updated the chrono tutorials. Overall, on a pretty good way. That's it for today. Hope you're having a great morning, evening, day in general. See you next week. I'll be back on Tuesday. I'm always promising that I'll do more streams on my channel as well. Never get to it, but maybe in December. We'll see. I do want to play more games as well and like work on some board game prototypes. Stay tuned for that. Otherwise, see you on the Coworking streams. Bye bye. Keep on creating.